Conditional formatting is another feature in Excel that we can use to create a form of user alerts based on cell values. We've previously seen how we can combine formulas with data validation to make it that much more powerful. Now we can do the same with conditional formatting. Let's find out how. Alex has been asked to make it easier to see whenever the stock level falls beneath the reorder level. Now to do something like that, we're going to need a formula. Once again, we start by selecting the data you want to apply the conditional formatting to. So we will do this based on the in stock column. So select this one with one click. Now up to conditional formatting, and we will be setting up a new rule. So we go right past all the default settings. Now click on the rule that says use a formula to determine which cells to format. Our formula will be comparing the values in the in stock column to those in the reorder column. So type your equals, then click on the first cell in the in stock column, type less than, and then click on the first cell in the reorder column. Now you'll notice that Excel brings in the cell references as absolute references, but we don't want that in this case. So let's convert them back to relative references. Select them both, and then you use the F4 key 1, 2, 3 times. All right, don't be too quick to press OK because we still need to specify a format. So I'm going to click Format, and we're going to come to Font and make it appear nice and bold, and then over to the Fill tab, and let's select a nice bright orange background color, and then we can say OK. Once again, click OK, and you will see that all items with low stock levels have now been flagged in bold and with an orange background fill. Okay, so that was one example of using a calculation. One of the things that I get asked about a lot is how we can make the whole row highlight rather than just a single value in a column. Well, you can do that, but once again, you will have to use a calculation. This time, what we want to do is have an option to choose one of the countries of origin and have all the items that come from that place highlight immediately. Well, we'll start by creating a drop-down list. We already know how to do this. So we have the data validation added to the origin column from the previous videos, and we saw in the last video that we can copy a cell that has validation and that the validation will copy to. So I'm going to click on the first one here, which is China, Control C, click under my Select Origin and paste Control V. And not only does the value come across, but the data validation has come across with it. So that's great. Now, I need to make sure I've selected all of my data, not just the single column. So I'm going to use Control, Shift right arrow and down, and then just make sure you scroll back up to the top. Once again, we're going to go back to our conditional formatting and choose New Rule. Select User Formula and click in the formula box. Drag it across so you can make sure you can see the origin on the left and the select origin on the right. Click in your formula box and once again, of course, start with an equal sign. Now we're going to check if our origin is equal to our select origin, but this time we're going to do something slightly different. We're not working with a single column. We actually have selected multiple columns. And while we want our row to go relative, we need our column to remain absolute. So this time, I'm only going to press F4 twice, so the $ stays in front of the E. And that's the main trick to making whole rows highlight. Now I'm going to type equals and click on my selected origin. Don't forget to set your format. So we'll click on Format, and this time we'll go for a fill, and I'll just go for a pale yellow and say OK and OK again. Immediately you will notice that all the rows from China have highlighted. But here's the magic. If I come to Select Origin and click the drop-down list, I can change that to Brazil. And now I've highlighted all of the rows in Brazil. So with a little combination of data validation and conditional formatting, we've added some really great automation to our workbook. So, to sum it up, in this week we've looked at how we can work with both data validation and conditional formatting. Please don't forget to do the practice challenge. It's really important and it will help cement the skills we've covered in these videos.